Hi everyone. Figured I'd do a video to show you all what we have to do every day to set up. Right now I'm doing manual transfers, and tomorrow I should start with the cycler. However, to get started, first we have to wash our hands and use sanitizer, and then first step is to check the bag, make sure that the date or the bag's not expired, and that there's no leaks, and then put it on the heater. For the manual transfers, I just have a heating pad, and it takes a while to heat that up, so I'm actually starting the second bag so that it's ready for the next cycle. Next step is to hang and measure the weight of the bag that's on the pole. This one's just over 2,000 grams. And then pull the drain bag off and separate all the hoses. Once that's done, you can break. There's a little plastic piece in here.
Don't you need the clamp?
Yes. Then you would put clamps on before doing that to make sure you don't leak everywhere.
You're welcome.
And right now this only needs one clamp. And then I need to clean my catheter.
Did you open the
Nope,
cones
I did not
now?
open it yet.
Okay.
You can pause it. Ready? Okay, so first step is to get some gauze and put some Alclavis on it. This is a bleach solution that cleans the catheter. And then this here is the transfer set of my catheter. And before I connect it, I need to clean it for 1 minute before I pull any caps off. And if I drop it or put it down, I have to start all over again. The other thing during this time, once the catheter is being opened, there can be no pets or kids in the room, no fans on, and anyone in the room needs to be wearing a mask.
Because anything that goes into that tube will go directly into his body.
This catheter goes in my abdomen and down towards my pelvis.
So fun fact, the solution that he actually puts into his stomach, well, into his abdomen, is actually just sugar water. And can you explain it better about how that pulls the toxins out of your blood?
I can't explain it very well, but the best demonstration is to take a bowl of strawberries and sprinkle sugar on top of it, and you'll see the juices come out of the strawberries and they'll kind of dry up. And that's kind of the same process that it does with my, I believe it's a peritoneum membrane.
In your abdomen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with PD, with peritoneal dialysis, the blood actually does not ever leave the body, and which is the difference in hemo, where hemo they pull out all of the blood and clean it and put it back in, but with PD they just use the sugar water solution to clean the blood.
You know how long I've been cleaning this?
I would say probably about a minute.
Okay. So now that this is clean, I'm gonna get the fill and drain lines ready.
So this is the most important part about being sterile and being clean, because once that cap comes off, it has a direct line into his body.
Yep. So I'm gonna loosen this one first, then pull that off and connect it. And those are garbage. And at this point we can take our mask off, because I'm already connected. So once we start that, or once we complete that, we get our drain bag ready. I've got a bucket that I put it in case it leaks. Leave that down on the floor, and then I can twist the end of this catheter to open it up.
But you need to prime it first.
I don't need to prime it until
Oh,
after
yeah.
I drain.
You're doing the initial drain.
I need to start with an initial drain, and then we'll continue on with the fill.
So the initial drain just pulls out anything that has been any extra fluid he might have put on since yesterday, or anything that might have been left from the day before.
Yep.
All right, so he just did his initial drain, which didn't pull out much from him, so he's going to get ready to do the fill. So unfortunately, with the drain, he's experiencing a lot of drain pain, so much so that they're likely going to, well, they took an x-ray to see where the catheter was placed, because it's likely that the catheter might be placed next to a nerve, or what they say by the colon, or
on a nerve is what she was thinking.
On a nerve or a colon, yeah. Or too close to the bladder, so that when he opens it to drain, there's quite a bit of pain that happens. So hopefully we can get that figured out. They also said if it was by the nerve, it could possibly just go away on its own, but it's been so long right now that we're a little concerned about where the catheter is placed. So that's kind of a bummer, but hopefully we'll get that figured out soon. Now we're ready for the fill.
Now we're going to start the fill, and I'll break the
Did
here.
You put the
clamp is on.
Clamp? Okay.
Clamp is on, so we'll first break this piece.
And that just releases the solution down into the tubing.
Yep. So then I need to take this clamp and move it down to the drain line so that there's no air. The air won't cause damage, but it'll be very painful if it gets into my abdomen. So what I'll do is I'll undo this, count to 5, place it on the drain line, and then I should be good to start filling. Okay, that's done, and I can see that some fluid drained into the drain bag from there, which is normal. And now the line is primed and ready to fill.
So on the transfer set itself, there's what's called a roller clamp, and that's how he opens it and closes it for the solution to go in and for the draining to come out. So right now it's closed, so nothing's filling until he lays down, because that's been found to be the most comfortable for him.
Yep, laying flat tends to work the best for me. So once I get untangled, lay down, and I can open the roller clamp, which is this white piece here, and just start out slow and let it start filling my abdomen.
So the fill usually takes, what, about 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, and now my phone's ringing. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry, so we're back. Alright, so he is doing the fill right now, which takes about 15 minutes. And then once it's filled is what's called the dwell period, which is when the solution is actually in the peritoneal, on the peritoneal? Peritoneum, and doing the work. So the peritoneum is basically like a spongy layer, right? Where the,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they made it sound like, where the sugar can go into the blood or something. I'm not really sure, but it's a spongy layer that cleans that, and where the solution can clean the blood. So dwells for about an hour and 10 minutes. So he just lays here with the solution in his body, and then after that we do the drain period, which can last anywhere from 15 minutes to
20 to 30.
20, yeah.
Depends on
which,
how well it's draining
right.
that day.
And right now has been quite painful and uncomfortable for him. So again, hopefully we'll get that figured out. And then that's one cycle. So with the manuals, currently he's doing 2 cycles each day, which would be a total of 4,000 milliliters in and out of his body. And then, yeah,
the idea that it'll take some extra out, as it's pulling different, the things out of your blood that your kidneys normally would do. The solution is doing for me. So it'll pull protein, I believe, potassium. It pulls a whole bunch of stuff out. So I do that for, most people do about 4 cycles a day. Right now I'm only doing 2. When I switch to a cycler, it'll probably be 3 to 4 every night. However, we'll hook it up once and it'll just go overnight.
Mm-hmm. In theory, you will be able to sleep through all of that, but
yeah,
we'll see. But these manual cycles are an option if we're camping or if you're going somewhere that doesn't have electricity, or if you don't want to haul your machine everywhere, that this is an option. Also, I guess if you're not sleeping well on your cycler and you want a good night's sleep, you could choose to do this during the day.
Right.
So, sorry that we cannot eloquently tell you how this cleans the blood, but it does.
The other thing we forgot today was to check my temperature, weight,
Oh, yep.
and blood pressure before we started. So we'll have to do that after the first cycle. But every day I need to check those and record them as that gets sent over to my nurse.
And then that tells you how much or what kind of solution.
Yeah.
There are 3 different options for the solution to use, which basically the solution has different contents of sugar in it.
Yep. So there's a yellow bag, a green bag, and a red bag. The yellow is the least concentrated and the red is the most concentrated.
So the idea is if you feel super crappy, you ate super crappy, your blood pressure is really high, then you ate a lot of salt the day before, then you would use a red bag or a green bag to take out more toxins.
Correct.
Yep. All right. Well, he'll be here for another hour and a half. So, woohoo. Goodbye.